Sure, if you're somebody who can't save your money, maybe this is a great way to surprise yourself at the end of the year. Keep your grubby hands off your money. But I don't know if that's you, maybe just put your credit cards in a block of frozen ice or just hide your money away somewhere in the backyard or something like that. I don't know. Hey folks, this is Rich Uncle. Quick tip on one of the biggest mistakes that can be fixed right away: your estimated quarterlies and your when do you file, and do you want to give the government a free loan or not? All right, so the first question here from a listener is, I'm working a regular job. I'm a W-2 employee. They're paying me a paycheck, and it looks like I can customize how much money is taken out of my paycheck every month or every paycheck. And this is kind of on your, when you usually first get employed, you do this form that, you claim your allowances. And what the allowances do is, in a way, customize how much money you don't withhold from your paycheck. There's a default number, and it's usually pretty big, where the government wants you to withhold money from your paycheck because they know that, like most Americans, you're probably going to spend more money than you make. And therefore, they feel like, as an irresponsible American, you won't have that money. So they want to withhold it from your paycheck, just to ensure that they can get paid during tax time. So most people out there, and maybe you guys don't think the same way, and you guys are already starting to realize the Rich Uncle, SimplePassiveCashflow.com audience is very different than the average person out there. The average person, they want to get a big refund come tax time. And most of you other guys probably are like banging your head against the wall, and myself included. It's like, why would you want to give the government a free loan on your money? Getting a big refund at tax time pretty much illustrates that you do not understand the way that taxes work and the time value of money. You don't want to give the government a free loan. You want that money in your pocket as soon as possible so you can go in and invest it. Sure, if you're somebody who can't save your money, maybe this is a great way to surprise yourself at the end of the year, or to kind of keep yourselves off, keep your grubby hands off your money. But I don't know if that's you, maybe just go stick your money put your credit cards in a block of frozen ice, or just hide your money away somewhere in the backyard or something like that. I don't know. You want to withhold the very least amount of money as possible. When I was still working a day job, I would use like 8, 9, 10, sometimes even 20 amount of allowances. Nothing says that you can't do it, or at least I haven't read any. But this way, it allows you to withhold very minimal amount of money out of your paycheck. But of course, the buyer beware is, come tax time, you're going to have to pay the taxes back, and it wasn't going to be withheld. So you're probably going to have to cough up a larger sum of money than you're used to. Which it's totally fine if you're somebody who diligently saves the money anyway. Just be careful if you're going out there and buying investments that are illiquid. You're going to need to have that money on the side to pay your taxes come tax time. And this is where it's good to estimate the taxes that you're going to be paying. A great way to do this is to understand how the tax brackets work. Maybe make a spreadsheet of your own, download one off internet, Google it. There's lots of YouTube videos out there to explain your estimated taxes. If you guys want me to do a video, put a comment below. If there's enough responses, I'll do a video and do a video walkthrough of it. But it's pretty simple. And that way you know how much you guys owe based on your salary or your paycheck at the end of the year, how much you're going to pay. The next thing is like, well, when do I file taxes? Taxes for personal returns are typically due on April 15th. That's when most people pay them. But I always tell my clients, like, why would you want to file it when everybody else does, when your CPA head is on fire, when they're probably going to make a mistake and they're just going to get it out the door and they don't really care about saving you and deductions and taxes? Do them a favor and file it in October 15th when it actually is really due. I don't know where people get it in their heads, but people feel like it's really due on April 15th when it's really due on October 15th. What you have to do is just file an extension before the April 15th deadline to file prior to October 15th. Again, I think this is where people get hung up, and there's a lot of people that really like to follow all the rules to a T, where they think that if they don't get it done by the 15th, they're late, and they don't want to be late because they think somebody is going to come to their house and take them to jail. Just file an extension. You know, it's not like school where, you know, if something was due on April 15th, your teacher says, no, now you're late. Well, in this case, in the real life, the adult life, you do an extension and it's really due on October 15th. And the reason why I do that is I want to see what Congress does and the presidency does with different taxes. Maybe they might change something in the middle of the year. Likely it'll be grandfathered in, but I still want to just hold back and wait and see what happens in the tax landscape to be able to make any changes that I can necessary. And by holding back until the very latest point, you know, September, October comes around, I have 6 extra months to plan, 6 extra months to see what's going on. Filing the extension, sometimes tax preparers might charge you a little bit, but my tax preparer, like, they love it, right? They do it for free for me. A lot of CPAs, I mean, this is just how much they love it, right? They don't want to do it when everybody else does it. CPAs, accountants, to me, I wouldn't want that job. You're just like so stressed out 2 times of the year when these things are due. Oh, the last reason why you want to wait till October instead of filing early in April is, no, this is sort of a myth, but I just want to give the IRS the least amount of time to be able to audit my taxes. Now, I'm not doing anything nefarious or anything like that, but I just don't want to give the Geek Squad that 6 extra months on the table. Now, this is kind of true and not true. I've heard different things. You know, they say your statute of limitations starts when that file hits the desk or when it gets submitted. So I guess they're saying it doesn't matter if it was April or in October, but that statute of limitations, that clock where the IRS has means to kind of go after and start to audit things starts. And, you know, I don't know if that's true. But either way, I would rather just file when things are a little bit less crazy and I've had the opportunity to see what tax changes in Congress unfolds over that period of time. The last thing I wanted to talk about was quarterly estimated payments. Very common question. I kind of wondered about this the whole time. Not many people kind of has a good understanding about it, but here's kind of the rich uncle breakdown of this stuff. The IRS wants you to not owe taxes, and they always want to be kind of ahead of who owes who money. So the one way they ensure this is obviously they withhold more money so that most people have refunds at the end of the year. That you would probably do too, right? If your client, the American, typically spends all their money and doesn't have any money to pay you taxes at the end. But some business owners, a lot of you guys are business owners out there, won't have very consistent income. Therefore, you're going to have to do what's called estimated tax payments. So you have to figure out how much you think you're going to be making every year, because that's what dictates how much taxes you owe. And then do your estimated quarterly payments to the IRS on schedule that way. There's a website, there's a lot of YouTube videos on how to make these payments out there, and it's actually pretty simple. I think that the IRS is typically seen as kind of an archaic organization, but to me, their website on this is pretty good, and you can use direct deposit information and just do it electronically. Something I've done, you know, is just kind of send in these payments, and this is where your tax preparer can help make little coupons for you. It's a little old-fashioned way of doing it, but it's just a good way to kind of getting in the habit of sending these things in quarterly. Now, something I can't really comment on and I don't really have a great understanding is like, well, what if I miss a quarterly payment? I haven't really seen too much in terms of fees or penalties on people. I've seen something where, like, you know, you just want to like miss it more than a couple quarters in a row, or you don't want to be owing too much. So it's nothing to be incredibly negligent about either, but you want to stay on top of it. But at the same time, don't just be so scared that you send the IRS way more money than they need. All the IRS wants is kind of, I think, in good faith that you're kind of keeping up and not falling too far behind by the end of the quarter. or be like me and invest in real estate and not own any taxes in it, then you don't have to worry about any estimated tax payments. But in another video, we'll kind of talk more about that. But if you guys want to check out the tax guide, go to simplepassivecashflow.com/tax. Drop a comment below if you guys have any other questions, and we'll try and get to in a future video. We'll see you guys.